In an exclusive report from Insider Gaming via Tom Henderson, a man who is reputable for his leaks of past in the Assassin's Creed series and other franchises, we received a huge amount of info on how the AC Infinity live service will work in regards to Assassin's Creed Red, and the article also made a point to talk about the next decade of releases for the AC franchise. That's 2 multiplayer games, 2 remakes, a borderline horror game, and more. There's an absolute ton of info to digest here, so if you're new to this channel, you like what you see, you want to stay up to date with everything Assassin's Creed Infinity, Red, and the future of AC, consider pressing the subscribe button. Okay, let's get into it. Essentially, Assassin's Creed Infinity will be the core hub of the franchise, from which games including Red, HEXE, and Invictus will be launched. Demo footage provided to Insider Gaming, under the condition that the footage does not go public, shows the user going from the Infinity Hub to Assassin's Creed Red within just a few seconds, picking up where they left off, rather than having to boot the games up individually after falling back to the hub. Okay, first thing to mention is, bro, why did you have to call it the hub? Of all names, why'd you have to call it the hub? Anyway, moving on. The Infinity Hub, as it's being called, is just that, a live service. And if you don't know what that really means, let me explain it for you. It's basically going to be the launcher for future Assassin's Creed games, but with a little bit extra. And we'll talk about what that extra stuff is later. When Tom mentions seamless transition, he's basically saying, for an example, let's say you're playing Assassin's Creed Multiplayer, the new one, Invictus. You're doing a team deathmatch. You're having a great time, but you think, oh my god, this reminds me of a quest that I really want to play again in Assassin's Creed Red. So you quickly exit out of Invictus, you go back to Red, your game from Red is still paused from when you last played it, you don't have to load the game in at all, you carry on playing. Then you finish the quest and you think, oh, I want to get back into some multiplayer. You exit Red, you go into Invictus, you carry on where you left off, and so on for every Assassin's Creed game that is contained in the Infinity Live service, or Live Hub. Now, one more thing I do want to mention within this tidbit of information. Insider Gaming has actually told us here that they've seen a working build of Assassin's Creed Red. They explained how in the footage they saw, it was a seamless pause from the Live Hub service, transitioning into Assassin's Creed Red. So they've seen the game, we've got a working build. Is a bit of a side note, but this indicates to me that, yeah, we're probably going to see AC Red re-announced, re-revealed with gameplay shown very soon. The Exchange will be an item shop, offering players the opportunity to purchase daily and weekly in-game cosmetics for Red's 2 protagonists, Naoe and Yazuke. I know I pronounced those names wrong. Now, this is just what they saw from Assassin's Creed Red, but I assume Assassin's Creed Infinity's Live Hub, the Exchange store, will be the same for future Assassin's Creed titles such as HEXE as well, and multiplayer games. So what I took from this is that the Exchange will basically be a revised and updated version of the Helix store, you know, the Animus store, what we've already seen in games such as Mirage, Odyssey, Valhalla, even back to Black Flag. It's going to be what we expect, but it's going to be revolving around all the games within the Infinity Live service. I do have opinions on microtransactions in full-priced video games that I won't go into today, but let's just say, look, it's the future of gaming at this point, whether that's good or bad, whatever you want to see it as, it is what it is. There's no avoiding it at this point, especially with companies such as Ubisoft. Let's hope that the gameplay doesn't shoehorn us into buying microtransactions and that they're completely optional, at the very least. Infinity also has a synchronization feature that allows players to access projects for each protagonist. To explain them in their simplest form, projects are mini battle passes, with a narrative behind them offering players the ability to earn cosmetic rewards. Projects will be added throughout Infinity constantly, focusing mainly on DLC and new game releases, or even as a means of sustaining player interest during any lack of new content. So yeah, if you've played a game like Fortnite, for example, then you know what a battle pass is. Do X amount of challenges, get Y amount of rewards for doing so. In regards to AC Red, you're probably going to see rewards of mythical gear, flaming swords, big war Sauron looking helmets, as a reward for assassinating 10 enemies on a ship, or air assassinating 150 enemies, stuff like that. The way that plays into the Exchange is perhaps you don't want to do those rewards, but you still want the flaming swords, then you can buy it for $4.99. Of course, that is all speculation, but based off of what I'm reading here, it sounds like it's going to be that way. Now, this also leads me to believe that AC Red, HEXE, any future Assassin's Creed game within the Infinity Live Hub could be always online. Even if you're playing a purely single-player Assassin's Creed game, the Infinity Hub may require you to have an internet connection to even log in, and without logging in, you might not even be able to get into the game. Again, that's a conversation for another day. I wouldn't call that the best thing, and I'll probably discuss my opinions on that in a live stream or something like that, but onwards to the next point. It's understood that the current strategy for Ubisoft with Infinity is to release a mainline game every 2 years, with smaller experiences in between. Red is scheduled for later this year, with Invictus, a multiplayer offering, being planned for 2025, and HEXE for 2026. The latter title, penned as being the darkest Assassin's Creed game yet, and will have a lead female protagonist, currently named Elsa. Other projects include Codename Obsidian, which is the Black Flag remake, Nebula, which is settings based in India and the Aztec Empire, as well as the Mediterranean, Raid, a free-to-play 4-player co-op that's PvE, Echoes, another multiplayer title, and another Assassin's Creed remake, which are all scheduled to release by the end of the decade. Now that right there is tons of games to be released in the next 10 years, or maybe even less. This also adds a lot more fuel to the fire when it comes to the Black Flag remake rumors we received a few months ago. Again, hearing them here. I didn't really doubt that wasn't true, but at least now we're getting further confirmation that maybe it is something real. Now, when it comes to the other supposed remake for an Assassin's Creed game, I'm thinking it's probably going to be AC1. What's the most outdated Assassin's Creed game that people have been wanting a remake for years? It's Assassin's Creed 1. It makes a ton of sense. They can take a beloved game and turn it into a cash grab. They'd love that. They'll make a ton of... It's probably it's gonna be the game. It's gonna be the game, in my opinion. Now, the other titles mentioned also sound interesting, but obviously time will tell. I've loved the idea of an Aztec Empire game for actually quite a few years now, so that is something that kind of excites me. HEXE being the darkest game in the franchise yet could be complete conjecture. Like, what does that mean? It's just like the AC Red leaks we got recently, leaks suggesting that AC Red will be the best in the franchise yet. Okay, that's somebody's opinion. I might not agree with you. Tommy Wilkinson over there might not agree with you. So for that to be a leak it doesn't mean anything. But I've been looking at Ubisoft's leak to reveal, to gameplay, to release pattern for literally years at this point, and that sounds very Ubisofty. That sounds like something they would definitely say. It will be the best in the series. It will be the most scary and dark game in the series. Like, that's classic Ubisoft marketing. I don't know why I keep doing this. Like, it works sometimes, but I keep saying it as I speak. Subscribe. One game that isn't mentioned, though, that I wish was, because I think it would be such a great game, is an LA Noire style Chicago's 1950s gangster Assassin's Creed. I don't know how it would work with gameplay, but I just know story could be so good. Could be so good. So those are the leaks, those are a few of my thoughts, but I want to go into more detail, give my thoughts in a more concise manner at this part of the video, and then I will ask for your guys' thoughts as well. Overall, do I believe this leak? Of course, the reason being, it's Tom Henderson. He has an amazing track record when it comes to rumors, information, leaks, and all manners of that sort of thing. He works for and wrote this article for Insider Gaming, again, a very reputable company. They're not going to risk their asses by lying or talking about what they don't even know is true. This has come from trusted sources, and they said themselves Ubisoft has shown them this. Once again, leading into my theory that Ubisoft always orchestrates all of these leaks and rumors and game information and little gameplay clips. It's all their mastermind genius idea to build up hype so that when they reveal their games, show gameplay for new games, there's so much hype around them. It is genius marketing. Like, I won't lie to you, it's very clever. It's probably what I would do myself. Obviously, that is all my opinion, and I keep pointing to this all the time because my script is right here. As we know, Ubisoft are the big corporate company of the gaming industry. It's business, business, business. And in 2024, live services, live hubs are the go-to business model in the gaming industry. It's no surprise Ubisoft are going this way. I'm surprised they didn't do it sooner, to be honest. This isn't part of the leak, this is my opinion, but I'd also expect all of the earlier Assassin's Creed titles to also come to the Infinity Live Hub. in their business mind, if you're playing Assassin's Creed, why shouldn't it be on this new live service? You're playing Assassin's Creed 2 because it's a classic, it's nostalgic. Yeah, we want you playing it on the live hub. Now, you may not believe this, but personally, I'm much more excited for these potential multiplayer games. It's been too long since we've had Assassin's Creed multiplayer like we did in Brotherhood, Revelations, AC3, Black Flag, even co-op with Unity. I miss it. I had such a good time with those back in the day. If they can bring something back reminiscent of that, I'm all in for that. I am. Again, I'm surprised they haven't done this sooner because a multiplayer game is a prime position to be able to sell microtransactions, and Ubisoft are all about that. That is how they make a lot of their money. One thing I will say at the end of this video is, although this is a very reputable leak from a very reputable source, you still got to take it with a grain of salt, a pinch of salt. At the end of the day, it's still a leak. It's not official, so we have always got to be cautious. That being said, I don't have any reason to doubt Tom Henderson or Insider Gaming. I'm not really a fan of the whole live hub service type fiasco. I would much prefer to go out to a store, buy a game physically, put the disc in my console, and just have the game, own the game, play the game. That's what I prefer. I'd much rather not have to load up an always online server to play my single player game, which might indeed have ads throughout the game that I've paid for, and always be presented with a microtransaction store. That's not for me. But look, you know, as the gaming industry moves forwards, things evolve, things also devolve. But what we do know is things change, and this is a major change for the gaming industry. We have live services already, but I do think this is probably going to be the most businessy type live service that we see or have seen yet. And I do think a lot of other big game developers will follow suit when they start to see the major success that Ubisoft will no doubt see, and that will then lead into another conversation for another day. But as always, what do you guys think about this video? Yeah, I see you watching me right now. What do you think? I know you're thinking, let me know in the comments. We'll get a discussion going and build that AC community. If you like what you saw here and you want to stay in the loop with everything Assassin's Creed Red, Infinity, HEXE, Invictus, and on, then you can press the subscribe button, and if you did enjoy this, you can press the like button. Right, I'm trying something new for the outro here. It might not fucking work, but I'm gonna try it. I love you guys. May the Father of Understanding guide us. I will see you soon, and remember, exile is forever. That's fucking cringe, bro.